Hey, what's up, Life Without Pants here with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about our league start strategy for 3.21 Crucible. It's only a few hours away, and I've been trying out a couple of strategies on stream just last night, this morning. It's 6 in the morning. We've been trying out a few things. I got a lot of incubators now because we tried out some Legion. And I figured I would put together a few league start atlas trees for you, just so you could see what we're considering. Now I've got a couple up here. So the first, and I tried to keep these around 100 points, because if you check the number of maps there's 100 maps on the atlas. There's 132 points in total, and that's with, there's 100 regular map points to be got, and there's 32 from Maven invites, from doing Squidward and Bernie Boy, from doing, Feared, that kind of stuff. So, and unique maps obviously too. So I figured most people are going to be able to clear the atlas relatively easily. So I just do like 100 points because that seems pretty fair. So the first one that I tried out was Legion, and this is, my gosh, there's so much currency in Legion. It's absolutely nutty. I think the first thing I am going to rush, though, is definitely going to be the Harbinger node. You have +1 Harbinger in your maps, because that is really, really strong, especially for getting Orbs of Horizon, so that you can Horizon into other maps, especially the ones that you don't have yet or what you haven't done completion for. I've gone for a lot of map nodes here, because Legion and Harbinger gives a ton of maps. There's so many maps. I've blocked off most things. Honestly, I'm really strongly considering taking Breach, though. For this one, it's just, the regular stuff. So we're just taking all the Harbinger node, all the Legion nodes that we can, and then we're taking the Wrath of the Cosmos as well over here. So that's the Legion one. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, this next one is Expedition, and the Legion one, I was assuming that you would do it with, like a Rusted Legion Scarab or a Polished Legion Scarab, or maybe Gilded if you're feeling a bit flush with money. So this one is going to be for Expedition and for Heist. So I'm assuming you're using some kind of Expedition Scarab. So I haven't taken all of the, like Hunt for Answers, a 12% chance to gain an extra a Expedition encounter in your maps. The Heist nodes, we're not taking the Dutiful Soldier, and I'm going to take the Huck one, because that means you have to do a bunch of heists to get Huck to a good state. I don't want to do that. But I think with the removal of Infinite Heist and people being able to just spam run contracts, I think heist contracts are going to be worth a lot of money, especially deception contracts early on, because people are going to have to... Those contracts are going to come from somewhere. So I really think deception contracts are going to be insanely expensive this league. I think that regular contracts are going to be, instead of, vendor trash or, half a chaos each, I think they're going to be worth 1 to 2 chaos. So I think taking the heist wheels is going to be pretty important. Again, I've gone for the Ominous Arrival with the Harbinger node as well. Over here, just taking the Distinguished Demolitionist and Ancient Writings wheels. We're taking the map nodes again, and then scratching up the ground. I'm not going to bother with the Tujan one, because with the Danig one, because it's bugged, or at least it was bugged. Filed a bug report. Nothing's happened with it. It's not in the patch notes, so I'm assuming it's still bugged. We're taking this down here, the Buried Knowledge, so you can get lots and lots of logbooks. And then over here, taking the Finer Arts, so you get deception contracts are more like 100% more likely chance of deception contracts, which is really, really good. Rog is incredible money. I'm just going to say it. Rog is Pog. It's obviously Tujan just literally prints money. Danig prints everybody else's money. But Rog in the first week of the league is so crazy strong. And I've got, I did a few tests. So I only ran maybe 8 maps with Expedition on. And these are I just crafted, I think it was like these plus maybe 4 more items. And these gloves, like 50 dex, flat cold. I think it's T2 life. Yeah, T2 life, 48 lightning resist, and I just chucked on cold resist. So these gloves are really, really good. This is pretty normal for Rog stuff. 87 max life, 46 fire res, 29 lightning res. And it's a hunter influence heavy belt as well. So that's just adds to its worth. This cloth belt, 99 life, 25 fire res, 41 cold res. It's and 32 strength, and it's got an open prefix as well. This lacquered garb, this is 19% spell suppress, which is very, very decent. 125 life and 47 cold res. Boots, Rog is so good for boots as well, and boots are really easy to craft because you're looking for life, move speed, and resistances largely, or a big stat, like big dex or big strength or something. And these boots, they're 30% move speed, crafted on 70 life, 46 cold, 39 lightning, is really, really good. And these boots as well, 14% spell chance to suppress spell damage. That's top tier roll, and that's the highest you can get it. 55 dex, 57 life, which is not the greatest, but then 46 fire resistance as well, and an open prefix. So this is just, I crafted, I would say 10 items or something, and these are the kinds of things you can get if you just do a little bit of crafting with Rog. I really don't want to... Expedition's a bit difficult. It's quite, if you tag all the remnants, then, those monsters are tanky and dangerous. They're rippy. And it's worth it, I think. It's really worth it. You have to spend a little bit of time crafting, but honestly, you get such crazy items out. I think these will easily, each and every single one of these will probably easily sell for 50C on day 2. Probably more for a few of them. So yeah, that's why you should be running Expedition, and that's what our tree looks like. There's only 98 points, so you can do this. Honestly, you could get this tree set up in the first day, probably in the first 24 hours of play. So this is a really, really good way to move forward, especially if you're crafting your own gear. Anyway, let's take a look at the next one. All right, and this one's a bit of a wild card. Honestly, I don't know if this one's going to work. They rebalance breach a lot. It seems like it could be really, really good, or it could be the opposite of really, really good. So it could be super bad. And I think I'm going to just try out a few breaches and see what it feels like, basically. There's lots and lots of nodes which are going to make it feel really, really good. I think a lot of people are going to jump on breach as well. But just coming over here straight to the breach nodes and then blocking off stuff as quickly as possible. I left Heist on because I think, those opening a Heist, a smuggler's cache, it takes a couple of seconds, and you just take those things and put them in your inventory, and then you're just going to sell them in bulk later on anyway. Using the cryptic gateway over here, we can come back and cancel out these other things, take shape in the mountains so we get some more maps. Coming over here for Chayula Chance, unsurprisingly, and then taking Within Their Grasp and Eye of Invasion. Power Struggle's really, really good as well, and Flash Breach now less good, but I think still very strong. Especially, and you can always just take Heavy Breach if you want a bit more time. And this wheel also very, very good because it's got the increased density. The top hat obviously is fantastic. These are all 2% increased effect of modifiers on your non-unique maps. So that's these nodes, 10% increased quantity of breach splinters dropped by breach monsters in your maps. That's something that is increased by these nodes here. Every small node has, and every big node pretty much, they are modifiers on your non-unique maps. And if you're just, doing Alk and Go or whatever it is, I think this is a really, really solid tree. You're going to get a lot of breaches, even though they've reduced the amount of breaches you get by a significant amount on the scarabs. I think this is really, really good. If you wanted to take these things really early, you could take these off here. So if you wanted to rush over to getting Wrath of the Cosmos, then you could do this, only 94 points. But the top hat, here, it works out. Every node you take is actually 30% more, better. Because there's, I guess, there's 16 of them. So it's 32% better. So these really, really good nodes. I think Breach is going to be. I'm going to try it out, and I think a lot of people are probably going to be trying it out, but I think it's going to be pretty, pretty good. So let's get to the last one. And this last one it's 126 points, so it's a combination of Legion and of Heist, because I think I'm going to be sitting in the Canyon map most likely for the first week of the league. I'm going to be dreaming about canyons. I've taken most of these things at 126. You could take this as well. I think this is just when you haven't done the feared, that's the last one for most people most of the time. But this has got all the map nodes, which is very important. You got everything apart from Legion and Heist showing up. You got a big chance for smugglers, caches. You're taking this for the deception contracts. I think the only wheel of Heist we're not taking is this one, Friends in High Places, and this is just it's pretty good to get this one because Heist contracts found in your maps are 100% more likely, not increased likelihood, to require level 3 jobs. And that means that if you get counter thaumaturgy or perception, then it's much easier for Gianna to run them. And most people are going to be, they're more valuable, those contracts. So I think this is a really decent setup. Maybe if you're doing Gilded Legion, then you would take this off because this is just, likelihood to have generals in both your maps. And you're going to guarantee those with the Gilded Breach Scarab. So, yeah, this is what it's like. I think for my money-making strategy, I think I'm definitely going to be leaning heavily on Legion and on Expedition. Rog especially. I've done some videos on the likelihood of receiving, X, Y, and Z from Tujun, from Danig. So maybe check those out. They're in the science playlist. But I think these are really, really good strategies. They're really good trees. Legion is incredibly strong. It just spits out currency, especially when you have these Legion nodes, the logistical support and pillaged treasures. These are insane because they give another reward template to stuff in your maps. Legion is really, really good. And then the expedition stuff is also fantastic. And yeah, the money you can make from crafting with Rog is, you should not underestimate it. Everybody's on the day 2 of the league, everybody's going to be looking for boots with move speed, really good resistances, and a bunch of life. And these are those boots. Both of these are those boots. These ones got spell suppression on as well. These things are going to be super in demand, and I think if you don't try out, maybe you don't want to do lots of expedition, maybe just do some logbooks or something. But if you don't do expedition, you're really sleeping on it. So anyway, that's it from me. I'll keep all the trees will be in the description below, so check those out. I hope you're kind to everyone you meet. I love you all very much, and I'll see you on Friday. Log in.